Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Razzle Dazzle. Ooh, it's been a busy week. We celebrated my husband and daughter's birthday on Saturday. So I've been running around. I'm not really getting anything accomplished, it feels like, with the snowy weather. Just got a lot going on. But I'm starting to wrap yarn because I am planning on dyeing some more yarn on my Christmas break. And Patty, she ordered the Manuela collection and she just got that, and I'm super excited to see what she makes. You know, she's probably thinking about it. There's a lot you can do with the yarn and all the colors and everything. So I'm super excited, Patty. See what you come up with. So yeah, I still plan on dyeing yarn. I just have to do it when I have some free time. And then I was kind of getting into trying to figure out the difference between beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So I'm kind of doing my own thing. So this is like a beginner baby set here. It's just the double crochet. And I used my hand dyed colors for this. This is the Christmas set that I made. Done in just double crochet. Oops. And then like the half double for the edging. And then with the blanket, I'm not sure what type of pattern you call that. It looks like I mixed it up a bit. I put a V-stitch in there with just like a regular grid type of pattern. And then I put a fun little ruffle on that. So this is a beginner baby set. And it usually takes about a week comfortably. It takes about a week to make this set here. Which is beginner friendly. So to make something like this, it takes about a week. Or if you're going to go super hardcore, you could get it done in about 3 days for it being a beginner baby set. So then I took it a step further and I decided to do intermediate. And there's all different kinds of factors that play in from beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and I'm just trying to figure out my method, the differences between that. So with the beginner, it's just basic, your basic stitches. You got your V-stitch, your double crochet, and half double. And this has 3 different colors. It's got the cream, the green teal, and then the hand dyed burgundy colors. So with the beginner set, it's got 3 colors in it. And like I said, this one takes about a week to make comfortably. And then I stepped up my game and I did it intermediate. And I just got this done yesterday. I still have to put the buttons on this one. But this one is my intermediate. I kind of cocooned. I swaddled my baby here. So with the intermediate, I put 4 different colors in it. Now I still have to find some buttons to sew my buttons on there. And here's the back. So I used the pale yellow, the cream, the ivory, and then this hand-dyed green that was hand-dyed out of my experimental yarns that I was dyeing. And I used clusters and front posts to make this type of a pattern. And it was just something that came out of my imagination. And then I put this scalloped edging on the pants and on the sleeves and on the hood. I did some scalloped edging. Just to make it that much more fancies. I still have to put my little buttons on there. And then even with the pants, I did some clusters and front posts on the top. Put the baby down for a minute here. And then here's the blanket with the clusters, the front posts. So this is the front. And with this border, I went a little bit fancier. It's kind of more like a lacy, more of like a lace type of deal with the pale yellow and the ivory mixed in with the cream in that hand-dyed green. And this is the front, and then I'm going to show you the back because I wanted to make sure when I did the back it's a little bit more of a different design. But I wanted to make sure that the back looked nice as well. that's the back. And then here's the front. It's very muted colors. But yeah, I decided to do this in the pale yellow and this green with the cream. And it kind of reminds me of honeydew. It kind of has that honeydew look to it. So yeah, this is my version of an intermediate, and this one took about 2 weeks for this outfit. I'm gonna kind of change the baby's clothes here so I can kind of show a little bit better. Yeah, I love having my baby doll. It really helps to see how the clothing fits. So here's the pants. And I always do the slip stitch ribbing up at the top. That's what helps keep the pants secure. So you don't have to worry about using elastic, because this is pretty, it's stretchy, but it'll help for the pants to stay on. And there's the back. And there's the front. So yeah, this one took about 2 weeks to do, with all these clusters and front posts. And it's like four rows of different stitches. But I repeated that pattern. So every 4 rows, I repeated it on that pattern. So it was just me using my imagination, trying to differentiate between a beginner to intermediate. So instead of 3 colors, I used 4 colors. And then I did the 4-row repeat on this pattern that I come up with that has the cluster and the front posts. because I kind of wanted to show the difference between beginner and intermediate. So you can kind of see the difference. This one has the 3 colors. And this one has the 4 colors. But there's the difference in the type of stitch work that I used. This one took about a week, and this one took about 2 weeks. So that way you can kind of understand a little bit of the price difference too. The difference between beginner and an intermediate. But that's the difference in price points, how much work is put into the crocheting. So this is kind of just my take on it. Everybody's gonna have their own opinions and stuff when it comes to a beginner project into an intermediate. But this is kind of what I came up with. And I used 2 balls of that hand-dyed green. And they kind of look like hearts, those clusters. But yeah, I had to use 2 balls of the hand-dyed green on that. Whereas this beginner, I only had to use the 1 ball of the hand-dyed. So that's kind of where I was going with this, to kind of show the difference between a beginner project, which is still very pretty. It's just that you can get this type done a lot faster than what you can with something like this. This one took me 1 week, and this one takes about 2 weeks at a comfortable, you know, not straight through, but you know, just as far as maybe working on it 2-3 hours a day. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I still have to wash these. It's kind of a race to the washer and dryer in this family. But I plan on washing these today and taking some photos. And next I'm going to work on advanced to see what I get with the advanced. Yeah, so with the beginner one is basically just a lot of the double crochet, half doubles. Still very pretty. But this is kind of what you would get with a beginner. And then this is what you would get with an advanced, or not advanced, intermediate. This is what you would get with an intermediate, because it takes about 2 weeks. So I've got 1 week, 2 weeks, and then I'm going to start one that takes 3 weeks. So the intermediate's got 4 different colors. So on the advanced, I'm going to do 5 different colors. So that kind of helps you to decide what you think is a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced on certain types of crochet levels. And the possibilities are really like endless. Oh, I'm dropping it. But that's the difference between beginner and intermediate as far as like the work you have to put into it. And then I'm planning on working on advanced, and it might take me a while on that one because that's like a 3-week ordeal with all of the color changing, different types of stitches. And I'm probably going to go more abstract, where it's kind of like different patterns. Like this one is just a 4 pattern, or a 4 row, I guess you should say. 4 row repeat on that pattern. So I really wouldn't call this one abstract. It's a 4 row repeat, and it's just a really nice pattern. But on the advanced one, it's going to be more abstract, but it's going to have a pattern to it. I'm going to keep that pattern, and instead of like a 4 row, it's going to be 2 4 row patterns. So it'll be like this 4 row, and then a different 4 row, and then this. So it's going to be like that. So it's going to be like 8 different rows of stitches in each row. And then I'm going to continue that pattern with the color changes using 5 different colors this time instead of 4. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. I'll probably wrap some more of this yellow yarn because I'm going to play around with that on Christmas break to see what type of colors and things that I get, kind of like experimenting with the yarn and the different dyes. And then I'm going to start on my advanced. I'm getting ideas. So I'm probably going to keep this pattern here for my advanced, but then I'm going to add another pattern. There's just so much you can do when you get into the intermediate. You just have to watch, you just have to pay attention a little bit more to your counts and your stitching as to compared to a beginner. Yeah, so I thought I would just come on here and just kind of show the difference. To give everybody an idea of what we're getting into. So yeah, I'm staying busy. I'm going to be on the baby stuff for a while, but I'm excited to see what everybody else makes. And that's kind of what I got going on. Christmas is just around the corner. I've got Christmas presents to wrap, and I vacuumed the carpet this morning, getting all the kitty hair. But yeah, we'll see how far I get today. I'm probably gonna wash these and take some really nice photos. That's what I'm planning on. And then start on the advanced. My version of advanced. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own opinions on it. Different factors. You know, how many different types of stitches. How many different types of colors. It goes on and on. Different price points. But that's kind of what I wanted to show, the difference between the price points. And for those of you too that don't crochet, that's kind of what I was doing, kind of showing, you know, why is this pattern more expensive than a beginner pattern? And it's like, okay, well, for one, these are just your basic stitches, your beginner. I only used 3 colors. I only had to use 1 ball of the hand-dyed yarn. But it's still super cute. It took about a week to make this set here. And it's still very adorable. But that's your beginner. And there's nothing wrong with beginner. You know, it still takes a very long time. Super pretty. But then this is how you step it up. And you're getting into your intermediate, where I have 4 colors. I've got some different stitches there. I did a scalloped edging for the pants, the sleeves, the hood. It's got that scallop. And then I did the cluster in the front posts. And then I got a little bit more fancier with my border, where it's a little bit more of a lacy look to it. And then I made sure that the back of the blanket Looked very nice as well. Different type of a pattern, but it looks nice. And I used 2 balls of the hand-dyed acrylic in this set. So there we go on that. But that's the difference between a 1-week beginner project and an intermediate project that takes 2 weeks. 1 week, 2 weeks. Just showing kind of like how fancy we can get. We'll see how fancy I can get on advanced. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and say, thank you very much, Patty, for being my first customer, buying the Manuela collection, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you make, what you decide to make. There's just so much you can do with it. I'll be stuck in the baby mode for a while. Everybody's having babies. And that's what I get asked for the most around here is baby items. All the cute little baby things. I get asked for that a lot. So I'm going to stay in that department for a while. Yeah, just trying to get things around. I still need to get Manuela's box ready because I am planning on mailing her some more yarn. But I kind of want to make some more of this hand-dyed yarn during my Christmas break. So I might wait a little bit so I can put some hand-dyed yarns in there for her. So I might hesitate on that because I'm planning on wrapping some more yarn and doing some more experiments. Yeah, that's what I got going on today. And I guess I will let you guys go and have a beautiful rest of your day. And I can't wait to see what you guys are cooking up in the crochet world. Alrighty, I guess I'll let you guys go. Bye.